Hi, yes, I'll take the dopamine salad with a side of fries, please. If only it were that easy. Or maybe it is. You have probably seen the dopamine menu on your feed at some point, and I'm going to guess that your first reaction was one of two things. Either you immediately went and took a screenshot of it and decided to make your own, or you rolled your eyes and you thought, this is so unnecessary. I'm an adult. I don't need a laminated list of activities to make myself feel better. Spoiler alert, yes, you do. I want to make a case for the dopamine menu today, and I want to prove to you that it isn't a self help gimmick. When you understand what dopamine actually does in your brain, and I mean actually does, not the version that we all got from wellness TikTok, this thing makes a lot more sense. We talk about dopamine constantly and we use it like an adjective. Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna go on a dopamine detox. Oh my gosh, that was the biggest dopamine hit. Almost every time we are using it wrong. The biggest misconception is that dopamine is about pleasure. It is not. Dopamine is about anticipation. It's the chemical your brain releases when it expects a reward instead of when it just received one. For example, it's the flutter in your stomach that you feel right before you open a gift. It also is the excitement that you feel when you click book for your next vacation. That is dopamine. Researchers call this the wanting system, and it's completely separate from the liking system. You can want something so deeply and so intensely and actually feel almost nothing once you have it. Does that sound familiar? I mean, genuinely, that explains so much of my online shopping history, but that's besides the point. Misconception number two is that a lot of people think the problem with phones and scrolling is that they give us too much dopamine. That's not exactly the full truth. The problem is that our devices have trained our brains to expect a very, very specific kind of reward that is fast and unpredictable and extremely low effort. And the randomness is the whole point. You don't know if the next scroll is going to be funny or sad or surprising or completely nothing. That unpredictability fires your wanting system harder than a guaranteed reward would. And over time, your baseline shifts. Things that used to feel genuinely satisfying, like taking a walk, eating food, or having a slow and real conversation, those all start to feel kind of flat because it's holding out for the slot machine in your pocket. And then there's misconception number three, and this one is for anyone who has ever tried a dopamine detox. It does not exist. A dopamine detox does not actually detox your dopamine. Dopamine is not something you flush out of your system. It's a neurotransmitter. You can't cleanse your neurotransmitters. So, what you're actually doing when you're removing your phone for a day is removing the source of that fast, cheap stimulation. You're not lowering your dopamine. You are giving your wanting system a chance to just redirect. And that is exactly the logic behind a dopamine menu. It went completely viral a few years ago, then it kind of died down a little, and now I'm seeing it everywhere again. And what I like about this trend is it's not a productivity system. And I have learned I need to steer clear of productivity systems because I already am chronically searching for productivity in my life. What it is it's just a list you made in advance of things that actually feel good. So when your brain is spinning out and reaching for your phone, you have somewhere else to point it to. Now, this is the part I didn't fully appreciate until I started using mine. Yes, what is on the list helps you, but it's the fact that the list exists at all. When you're already in that doom scroll spiral, your brain is in seeking mode and your decision making capacity is really, really low. Your phone is just right there and it's ready to take your attention every single time. In that mental state, thinking what should I do instead? Almost never works because choosing requires energy, and your brain wants the path of least resistance to comfort and to ease. We're animals after all. A pre made menu removes the decision and allows you to feel like you're not choosing in the moment because you already chose. It's the same reason meal prepping works even if you love cooking. Yes, sure, we know you're capable. We know that you can cook up a mean meatloaf. Meatloaf? Olivia. Anyways, you are simply removing friction at the moment when your brain is least equipped to handle it. So let me take you through my dopamine menu. I have it as a note in my notes app, and I also have written it down, and it is in my house where I can see it at all times, and I use it very often. The first thing on the list is an everything shower. Now, yes, this sounds basic, but stay with me. If I'm in that Sunday spiral where my phone is in my hand and I haven't moved in 2 hours and I'm feeling a bit of, I'm feeling that tinge of guilt, I get up, I shower, and I take advantage of all of the products in my vanity, like every single one of them. A hair mask, a body scrub, that fancy soap I've been saving for special occasions. This is a special occasion. I just got myself out of a funk. What do you mean? In less than 30 minutes, I come out feeling like a slightly more functional person, which is incredible. Something about the ritual of it really resets me. Number two is decluttering anything. This is my type A brain fully unleashed. I will organize a single drawer for 20 minutes and feel like I have achieved something monumental. Some of my earliest memories actually are being told to go clean my room, and I'm, triangle folding my underwear and color coding my drawers, and I would get in trouble because I'd spend hours organizing, which apparently is not the same as cleaning. Who knew? There's just something about visible order that quiets the chaos a little within me. Number three, fun journaling. Now, I love a good sit with your feelings and do a little bit of shadow work kind of journaling, but this is not the time. This is more for asking, how would my dream wardrobe make me feel? Or personal review of the last episode of whatever I'm watching. Currently, the morning show. Yeah, I'm late to the game, but I'm obsessed now. Stream of consciousness, little doodles, lists of all the things that made you giggle this week, like anything that you want to write. It just needs to be zero pressure because no one will ever read it. Now, number four is bananagrams solitaire. Now, my family is super big on board games, card games, big on bananagrams. And I learned about this recently, and it's a bit unhealthy how much I love it now. Essentially, instead of playing it with other people, you play it by yourself until all of the tiles are gone. I crack open a Coca Cola, I put on my favorite playlist, and I go full on word nerd. Once I tried it in French, I only lasted so long, and all of the words were 5 letters or less, but good practice. The thing is it requires just enough concentration to pull you out of your head without really requiring anything from you emotionally. Number five is an easy wins to-do list. This one I set up with a little bit of help. So I turn on a timer in Opal and I block access to whatever apps I'd normally escape to. Then I write down the most embarrassingly simple tasks. The trick here is not to use your phone. I've been hooked on the Muji pens, the thin ones, for a year now, and I use little sticky notes, specifically the yellow ones, and I make my easy win list on it, and it is so satisfying. I stick it to the wall and then I go to town, and it can be things like fold the laundry, put the dishes away, write the grocery list, respond to that one text message, brush the dog, and then I get to check them all off. And yes, were they things that I kind of needed to do? Yes. But getting all of that done in an hour versus thinking about it for another hour and doom scrolling, so satisfying. So much so that the satisfaction is disproportionate to the effort. So I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. It just works like that. Number 6 is a bit unhinged. It is 5 minutes of forced cuddle time with my dog. Now, she doesn't know how to sit still, so it's essentially a wrestling match. I have this like one position where I have to put my leg and my arm over her, and it kind of like cocoons her entire body, and it works. She stops moving, and I think she actually kind of enjoys it. But seriously, that dopamine rush is immediate and it's real. Yes, anticipation of a reward fires dopamine, but so does genuine connection. And apparently, it counts even when my dog is squirming. Number 7 is starting a new book. I swear there is nothing like page 1. There's something about that moment, that anticipation before you know if you love it or before you've really committed to it, where your brain genuinely gets that little hit of possibility and it feels so good. Like we talked about earlier, your wanting system responds to potential reward, and a new book is pure potential. Now, warning, I think I've used this hack a bit too much because I have quite a few books started that I have not yet finished, but we don't need to unpack that here. No polish manicure. I couldn't tell you the last time I painted my nails. Every time I've gone to the salon, I get overstimulated and I want to take whatever color I put on off immediately. Gel nails are, in fact, my nightmare. Like my stomach is churning just thinking about it. What I do use is a glass nail buffer from a woman owned business called Bare Hands. It is extremely meditative, and my hands look like I have a natural French manicure afterwards. The main idea of this, though, is my phone is out of my hand the whole time, and I've somehow been present for 15 minutes. And when all else fails, a dance break. I'm so serious about this one. We all have the universal experience of songs that are on repeat. Like I can go a whole week and listen to the same song on repeat. It's really bad. Wait, is it actually a universal experience? Can you please tell me if you can like listen to the same song for a week straight? Make me feel better about this. Right now, it's So Hot You're Hurting My Feelings by Caroline Polachek. So hot you hurting my feelings. Can't deal. I cannot explain the chokehold it has on me. I don't even always full out dance. Like if I'm really down bad, I'll just sit there and like shimmy a little bit instead, and it does the trick. It's more than enough. Now, let's not be prescriptive about this. Your dopamine menu is supposed to reflect you. So when you're building yours out, the only filter that really matters is, does this actually feel good, and does it leave me feeling better after? And that second part is really important because scrolling can feel super good in the moment, but if you've been on your phone for an hour and you feel drained and slightly behind on your life, that's the difference. Like one choice depletes you while the other choice restores you. A few things that help me make the best list are, you've got to mix the effort levels. Some things on your menu should be really genuinely easy, like the dance break, the cuddle, starting a book. And some might require a little more energy or time from you. The journal, the drawer that you've been avoiding, the everything shower, That way, there's always something that matches how much capacity you actually have in that moment, instead of creating something where it's unattainable and unrealistic. Also, the other thing is to make it physical if you can. There's a reason my manicure moment works better than a meditation app for me, and it's because your hands are busy, so you're offline by default. And I think a lot of the best dopamine menu items have that in common. And also, make it visible, like on paper, in your journal, on a sticky note, on your mirror. The whole point of having a dopamine menu is so that you can reach for it before you reach for your phone. Your phone already has a menu, but you did not design it. Somebody else did. And it was optimized for engagement and to steal your attention, not for how you want to feel at the end of the day. A dopamine menu is just you deciding to have a say in that. It doesn't have to be aesthetic or super long. Just be sure to make it really just yours. So I want to know, are you going to try one out? And if so, what will you be adding to your dopamine menu? Let me know in the comments. And if you're looking for ways to protect your time, you can download Opal for free and set yourself up for success today. That is all for me today. It is now time for me to unplug and go play my favorite song on repeat again. See you next Friday.